Hey there, Yogi. My name is Crystal Gray. I am the creator of the Yoga Goddess Academy, and I give confidence to those wanting to go through a yoga teacher training, as well as newer yoga teachers who want to refine their skills through my yoga mentoring program, as well as through my online and in-person yoga teacher trainings in Costa Rica. In this video, I'll give you 6 steps to planning an amazing yoga class. By the end of the video, you'll have an outline that you can use every time you sit down to plan a yoga class so that you don't stress yourself out about it each and every week. All right, let's get into the steps. Step 1 is to choose a theme. Now, this theme could be something like a poem that you found that you really love. It could have to do with a chakra. Maybe it's a song lyric, or maybe there's a holiday coming up, or even just a change of seasons that you want to bring into your class. Any of these would work, and there's definitely no right or wrong. Now, moving into step 2, think about what kind of yoga poses go with that. Again, there's no right or wrong. You can really get hung up on, well, I don't know, does this really go with that chakra? As long as you have an intention and you can make it make sense in your mind and to your students, that's all that matters. Number 3, will you be working up to a specific pose? If so, then what are the prep poses for that pose? And then what are the counter poses to that pose? Moving into number 4, if there is no pinnacle pose, or even if there is, you want to think about some other yoga poses that would just make your intention come a little bit more alive. So if you're working on something about the heart, really talking about gratitude, or just focusing on the heart chakra, then maybe you want to bring in Anahata pose, which is the heart chakra yoga pose, also known as puppy dog pose. Number 5, following a bell curve like that, so it goes up kind of like a hill, you want to think about what poses would go where. So if you have a pinnacle pose, that would go at the very top of your bell curve. If you don't have one, that's all right. It would just be the most challenging part of your class. Or if it's a gentle yoga practice, then that would just be the very middle of your class. So on that bell curve, start to put the warm-up poses all the way up, leading up to the pinnacle poses, and then counter poses moving down from that. Again, if there's no pinnacle pose and you just decided to work on twisting poses, for example, at the top of the bell curve would either be the middle of your class or the hardest part of your class. So just putting the poses on that bell curve in a place that would make sense. And again, it only has to make sense to you as long as there's some logic behind it and you can explain it if needed. Again, that's all that matters. Don't stress out about it. Also, you don't need to cram a ton of poses in here. Sometimes simpler is better. Number 6, where else will you bring in the theme? So instead of just reading a poem right at the beginning of class and then forgetting it, I like to bring in the theme a lot during the practice, just to help people to re-engage and to re-establish that intention. I really love using affirmations to do this. It's a really easy way to keep bringing it back in throughout the practice. Maybe if you're focusing on grounding, a really good place to bring in your affirmation, maybe it's I am grounded, you can bring it in tree pose, where you're really focusing on growing the roots down from the standing leg, from that standing foot, all the way down into the earth, and you're bringing that affirmation back in, or you're just bringing in the visualization of growing roots into the earth. So there you have it, my 6 steps to planning a yoga class. I hope that this helps to give you a little bit more confidence and to see that it doesn't have to be so hard to plan a yoga class. And don't worry, if you haven't gone through a yoga teacher training, those are the kinds of things you'll learn are what kinds of prep poses do you need for pinnacle poses. You can also find a lot of this information online. All right, Yogi, please let me know in the comments if you have any further questions or concerns around this topic, and I'll be happy to reply. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Namaste.